Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu Yagaloo, das Musikmagazin. Heute aus dem Backstage-Bereich im Berliner Privatclub und bei mir ist Noah Guthrie. How are you, Noah?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm fine, more or less. Well, the winter time is not so exactly my time. Is it your time?
Yeah, actually, no, I like winter. I like bundling up, but honestly, it kind of feels nice outside to me right now. Yeah, but I like it.
How is it about snow in South Carolina, right?
Yes, we actually don't usually get a lot of snow every year, but when we do, it is around February. And this year, we actually did get quite a bit of it, so that's nice. It was actually nice to see some snow that wasn't just like nasty ice. That's what we usually get.
But of course, we are not here to talk about the weather situation and snow and some stuff. You are on your first German tour. What is it like? Is it rocking every night?
Well, rocking acoustically. We've, this is our first German tour and my first time in Germany ever. So we've been welcomed with just really kind people and, people that, we have so many people that showed up to each show, and that was so, I don't know, we just didn't know what to expect, really. And we were very pleasantly surprised. And the first show in Munich was just so good, and it was a packed out room with just a bunch of really awesome, loving people. So, and every room has been that way, like every night. So it's been amazing.
What were your first impressions of Germany?
I mean, really just amazing, because honestly, I thought the language thing would be an issue, which it has been difficult, but most everyone seems to speak some sort of English, and no one has made me feel bad that I can't speak the language. So when you ask for help, they're very nice about it, and that's very, very wonderful. But no, my first impressions are just that the people have been so great to us. I've just met some of the best people I've ever met.
Have you already find out the best beer here in Germany, or are you not the beer drinker?
Oh, no, I'm a beer drinker. We're not really sure yet what the best is. We've tried a couple different ones. We have noticed some differences, though. In the States, you get all kind of beer, and I'm more of a stout drinker or a porter drinker. And in the States, a stout is pretty thick most of the times, and it's pretty high alcohol volume. And every time I've ordered a beer here, I've always tried. I'll tell the server, I'm just get whatever the darkest beer you have is, just because that's what I like. And they'll bring me a really dark beer, but it tastes like a lager, and it's a little lighter, which is good, and I love that. But it's kind of odd, the differences in our beer. But I don't know. What is the one we had? Kolsch, I think we had Kolsch.
Kolsch in Cologne, of course.
Yeah. And, that was good. But like I said, they're all a little light for my taste. But I like them still.
The story why I'm sitting here is that my photographer was invited to the show, and she asked me to come over. Unfortunately, she is sick today. So alles Gute, Heike, gute Besserung natürlich an dieser Stelle. But the funny thing is, well, I didn't know you, so I just saw this little video clip, and I thought, oh, well, what a great voice. And this morning, I tried to figure out some informations on you, and I thought, well, he was on Glee, oh my gosh. And he's a big YouTube star back home, and I still get goosebumps. I mean, it's so incredible that we are sitting now here. How did it all start with you making music? Was it already at kindergarten back home, or?
Kind of. I grew up in a musical family. My dad always sang. He's been a session singer for a long time, and my brother plays drums, and we kind of just grew up in the studio or around music in general with a lot of musician friends. And, I guess it was just kind of bound to happen at some point. I picked up a guitar and started singing, and my brother picked up drums, and, it just kind of fell into place. And then I guess 6 years ago, something like that, is when I started doing YouTube. And it was just kind of it was an unintentional thing. I basically posted a cover video of Where the Streets Have No Name by U2, which is my favorite band. And, I did it just kind of to get it out. I was just learning guitar and I wanted to rearrange something, so I took the song and kind of made it more of a ballad, and then posted it to YouTube. Really didn't think anything of it, and then it just kind of got more traction than I thought it would, and I ended up getting management from someone seeing me on YouTube and saying, hey, I'd like to manage you, and I ended up getting management, and we decided that YouTube is now this new platform, and we think it's going to stick around, and luckily it did stick around, and just decided to try and make the most of it, and I think it worked. It's helped me a lot. It's one of those things I still do. I don't get to make videos as much as I want to, just because I'm on the road so much now. But it's definitely where my fan base started and where it has formed and kind of shaped. So, did YouTube for a while, and then got a phone call from Glee. Just kind of like that. They said, we've seen your music, and we'd love you to audition for this part that we have on the last season. And I did, and I was very lucky and got the part. So, yeah, just in a short summary, that's how it happened.
Your father told me that you are pretty shy, or you were pretty shy during your teenage days. So what was it like when you got this phone call from the Glee makers? What were your thoughts?
Well, I was pretty shy in high school and stuff. But, when I got the phone call from Glee, they told me what they were looking for in a character. And they said that they needed a shy, chubby guy with a soulful voice. And, they went on further and kind of described the character to me. His name is Roderick. And it was basically just me when I was in high school. So, I could relate to the character, and just thought, what do I have to lose? And gave it a shot. And turned out really, really great for me, and I was lucky that the fan base reacted well to the new characters and really brought us into the family. So I think it worked out pretty well.
How did you get your acting skills? I mean, to be a musician is a little different than acting. Did you take some classes or something?
No, it was I've never acted or done anything like that before. So when they called, I even told them, I was like, listen, I have never done this. Please be gentle with me. This is new territory, and they were all very kind. And I think where I lucked out was that the character was so close to me the way it was written. So every line that was written was really just the way I would naturally say it. So I didn't really have to do a whole lot of acting other than saying, hey, my name is Roderick, instead of saying, hey, my name is Noah. So I think it worked out.
So can you just go out to the supermarket back home, because Glee is very, very big in the States. Not only in the States, but especially in the States.
No, yeah, I can totally do that. It's one of those things. I was brought on for the last season, and it was like a half season. They usually do 22 episodes, and they did 13 this time, and I was lucky enough to be on, I think, every one of those except, well, maybe one. But yeah, nothing super big has changed other than I've just have a new fan base that comes to shows now, which is great. But yeah, like I get recognized every now and then, especially I live in a small town in South Carolina, so I kind of already know most of the people there anyway. But now I guess, yeah, in my town I get recognized probably more than anywhere else. But yeah, it happens from time to time, but it's absolutely not a nuisance. So that's great.
And then you get along with that. Or what keeps you grounded? Your family?
I travel. My brother's shaking his head off camera. I travel with my dad and my brother everywhere I go. So if I got too stuck up, they'd kind of just beat me up. So I don't really have a choice. I kind of have to be. I just, all my favorite musicians and people I've met in my career are all just the most nice, most humble people, and why not follow in their footsteps for a change and kind of break the stereotypes. So that's how I try to stay humble, I guess.
You are here in Germany to present your debut album, Among the Wildest Things. Yeah. That's already a couple of years ago, like 3 years. So
yeah, I guess it is getting on 2 or 3 years now. But it's an album that I did right after everything kind of blew up for me on YouTube, and I had been writing songs for the past year before, and just decided it was time to get something of me out to the fans instead of, you know, my covers and stuff. And, you know, that's what I'm most passionate about, is my original music and songwriting. So that basically is just the first representation of me. And right now we're finishing up a new EP of some new stuff that, you know, is kind of, I don't know, maybe grown a little bit in a slightly different direction, but not too much. But yeah, I'll be, you know, playing a lot of new stuff tonight, and you know, hopefully the fans will like that as well, and hopefully we'll be putting a single out in April, I believe, is what we're shooting for. So yeah, it's exciting.
So what was it like working on your debut? I mean, it's totally different because for the YouTube clips you just sat there singing with your guitar, and here you have the full band sound. So was it a big challenge for you?
It wasn't as much a challenge. I mean, it was different, but I've also kind of been in and out of a studio for my whole life, so I kind of knew a little bit of how that worked. And basically what happened for this album is I have a band that I really like called Need to Breathe, and just they put out a record a few years ago, and it was really just great sounding. And I decided, okay, well, I want that producer if I can get that producer. So we emailed him, and, you know, everything just worked out, and I ended up getting that producer. His name's Rick, and you know, we just went into the studio for a few weeks, and I already had these tracks kind of demoed out, and we just kind of polished them up and put them all together, and then, you know, it was great for me. I had a great time, and this new stuff we're doing a little more self-production. Me and my brother and our guitarist have a little studio in Atlanta, Georgia, and we just decided, you know, let's see what we can do on our own with this, and I'm pretty happy with it. You know, it's a little more raw, I guess, but we really enjoy it. So, you know, working on that was fantastic, and I'm kind of excited to see where the new stuff heads.
What is your working atmosphere look like? Do you need a special setup, or do you have some special tea at the studio, or?
Not really. I think it probably just revolves around analog equipment and bourbon, most likely, is what you'll find. Lots of cables, lots of, you know, just toys, just lots of fun guitar toys. But, you know, other than that, it's just kind of your normal. We go in there and you know, sit down with the guitar and try to find sounds and really tweak until we get the right sound, and, you know, then it's on to vocals, or we can do it all live now, and that's great. That's a new development. But yeah, it's, you know, it's fun.
So if you got a new song, who is the one who hear it first? Is it your brother,
I would
family?
Say, yeah, I mean, it kind of, I'd say it pivots back and forth. I mean, my brother probably hears it first just because I'm with him all the time. My dad, my mom. I mean, it depends who I'm with, you know, or like who I'm closest to at the time. You know, sometimes my girlfriend, and it just kind of just depends.
What was your weirdest fan reaction so far?
Ooh, weirdest fan reaction so far.
Do you have any stalkers moving around, or?
None that I want to talk about. But, you know, yeah, like you know, anytime you do like a national TV show or an international TV show, like Glee, you know, you have super fans that come that are just completely normal people that are just so into the show, and they're really great. And then, of course, you have some that are maybe, I don't know, a little too into it, or they just kind of get a little pushy. But, you know, I've been lucky enough that nothing bad has happened to me or anything like that. Of course, I've had some like weird run-ins, but nothing I can really recall that would qualify as a you know, weird story.
You have been on the Jay Leno show, and every time I saw Jay Leno on television, it was like, he could be my dad, because my chin is also as long as his. So could I make a career in the States with my chin?
That's a question I've never had. Can I make a career in the States with my chin? I don't know. I mean, Jay Leno did it, I guess. So you have a shot at least.
Yeah. You already told me that you writing on the new songs, or having new songs in the pipeline. What would you say, what is your personal development from the first cover songs on YouTube to nowadays?
I mean, I think really, let's see how I can answer this best. So if we fast forward into the future, I think looking back, you'll probably see from the first album and the covers and stuff to the new stuff, and then whatever I put out later, you're literally just kind of growing up with me. I just like every other artist, I think you go through different things in life, and you kind of draw from that and you write on that. So the new stuff is definitely is a little more personal. When I was out doing Glee, I went from very small town in South Carolina to really fast-paced big city in California, and that kind of, I don't know, hit me in a weird way sometimes, just because it was such a different lifestyle, and then moving back was even weirder just because I was going from fast-paced to slow again. And so stuff like that. My girlfriend and I are long distance, so I always have stuff to draw from that. And but no, I think if you look at the short catalog that I have right now, you'll just see me kind of growing up and figuring out how to be.
Well, what is your technique of writing? Is it just pen, paper, guitar, or do you use like an iPad for the first recordings?
I would say it's pen, paper, guitar, and iPhone probably for the first little bit of it, just because a lot of times I get a lot of my ideas in the car when I'm driving. So, I'll be driving and I have a melody pop into my head and just need to capture it really quick. So the iPhone's good for that, and you can do voice memos. And then once I have the memo, I head home as soon as I can and grab a guitar and just try to form chords around the melody. And then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But and then it's just kind of hammering out a melody until you have something that's decent enough to work with. And then, sometimes it's the opposite, though. Sometimes lyrics come first, just if I have a line idea or something. Often, though, I've noticed when it's lyrics first, I'm not as happy with the song because for some reason I'll end up thinking the line was, just too cliche or too, cheesy. I don't know. But I think it works best with me when it's melody first and then the lyrics come second.
How good are you memorizing your own lyrics? So when you write a new song, how easy is it to get it in your head?
It's not that bad. I mean, when you're writing the song, you're doing it over and over and over and over until it's just kind of beat into your brain. So it's not insanely hard to memorize your lyrics and stuff as you write a song. But, I mean, of course, I will forget them sometimes. And I don't know, maybe I just jinx myself. I'll probably forget lyrics on stage tonight. But, it's just a process that I always try to evolve, and that's never been an issue for me, thank God.
Are there any artists around that you would like to cooperate with? For example, a duet with Adele or something?
Oh yeah,
would be great, right?
Who doesn't want to duet with Adele? Yeah, of course. I mean, I've got my heroes in music. Ray LaMontagne is a big influence on me, and I would love to do something with him. My Morning Jacket is great right now. I'm super into them. Kimbra from New Zealand, she's blowing up, and just everyone really. I listen to most everything, and I'm always open to collaborations. So hopefully soon, that'd be great.
And I read the thanks here on the album. You believe in God, so you went to church, and you are coming from South Carolina. For me, it sounds like quite conservative, and we know about this blonde guy over there in the States. What's your opinion on Mr. Trump?
Well, he's not my type. I definitely say I'm not conservative. I'm maybe probably a blue guy in a very red state. So, politics is one of those things that I'll get into with my friends, but it's probably not best that I draw it out on an interview. But, as far as Donald, he's Donald Trump. He is what he is. So, he's not really my cup of tea. So, therefore I won't be voting for him.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I mean, Bette Midler is fighting against him. It's so funny to watch all the Bette Midler postings on Facebook. So I think that's it so far. How many gigs are still in Europe? After Germany, you're going to the Netherlands, right?
Yeah. So this is the last one in Germany, and then we drive to the Netherlands tomorrow, and I think we have 5 shows there. It may be 4, but I think 5. And then after that we go home for a little bit and back on the road and just finishing up the rest of the EP and music videos and all that stuff. So fun stuff. Very busy.
Cool. So at the end of the year or maybe next year, I see you then at the big venue down in Prenzlauer Berg or somewhere. We will see.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
It was very, very nice and I'm looking forward to your show now.
Well, thank you.
Und ihr checkt natürlich Noah Guthrie aus im Internet. There's only one Noah, right?
Yes.
But I told your dad there is Noah Levy here in Germany who just won The Voice Kids.
Oh.
So, but you're lucky that you got the only one Noah.
Yeah.
It was hard to find, right?
I mean, the only one Noah thing, we did that a long time ago. So I've had that forever. I just got lucky, I guess, with the username. It seems like they always get snatched up pretty quick. So,
Social media. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.